For over a century, humanity has been bombarded with predictions of the end, apocalyptic forecasts promising doom, destruction, and the collapse of everything we know. Yet here we are, still spinning on this little blue planet, defying every dire warning. Let's take a trip through the last 100 years and count just how many times the world was supposed to end, but didn't. Spoiler alert, it's a lot. And while we're at it, we'll unpack why fear-mongering keeps popping up, why it never works out, and how it's more about control than catastrophe. Let's start in 1910, when Halley's Comet swung by Earth. Scientists discovered its tail contained cyanogen, a deadly gas, and newspapers ran wild with headlines screaming that we'd all be poisoned. People panicked, bought bottled air, and one group in Oklahoma even tried to sacrifice a virgin to appease the heavens. But the comet passed, the Earth sailed through its tail, and nothing happened. No poison, no apocalypse, just a great story for the history books. Fast forward to the 1930s and 40s. Religious fervor gave us figures like William Miller, whose influence lingered long after his 1843 prediction flopped. By the 20th century, his legacy inspired others, like Joanna Southcott's followers, who in 1914 clung to her earlier claim of birthing a messiah to signal the end. She was C4 and, well, didn't deliver, literally or figuratively. The world kept turning. Then there's 1666. Okay, technically not in the last 100 years, but its echo hit hard in the 20th century. The Bible's number of the beast, 666, had folks in the 1900s speculating that any year with a 6 might spell doom. In 1966, people whispered about the end again, tying it to everything from wars to cultural shifts. Nope, just another year of bell-bottoms and Beatles hits. Jump to the 1970s, when environmental doomsday predictions took center stage. In 1972, the Limits to Growth report claimed we'd run out of resources and drown in pollution by the early 2000s. Time magazine painted a grim picture of gaunt survivors scraping by on freeway medians. Around the same time, ecologist Paul Ehrlich predicted a great die-off, with billions starving by the 1980s. Instead, agricultural innovation boomed, population grew, and starvation rates dropped. Ehrlich's still a big name, but his apocalypse? A no-show. The 1980s brought more eco-panic. The UN warned in 1982 of a planetary nuclear holocaust equivalent by 2000 if we didn't act. In 1989, they gave us 3 years to reverse global warming or lose everything. The Maldives, they said, would be underwater by 1992. Spoiler, it's still there, a tropical paradise, not a sunken ruin. Meanwhile, televangelist Pat Robertson told his flock in 1980 he knew the exact date of the end. He didn't. We're still waiting. Then came Y2K, the turn of the millennium that had everyone in a tizzy. Computers, they said, would crash, plunging us into chaos on January 1st, 2000. People stockpiled food, hoarded cash, and braced for a digital apocalypse. What happened? A few glitches, a lot of embarrassed tech pundits, and a collective sigh of relief as the clocks ticked over. The 2000s kept the trend alive. Harold Camping, a radio preacher, predicted the end multiple times. Most famously, May 20th, 2011, exactly 7,000 years after Noah's flood, he claimed. Billboards went up, followers quit jobs, and when the day passed quietly, he bumped it to October 21st. Still nothing. Camping's math was off, but his fear machine ran hot. And who could forget 2012? The Mayan calendar ended, and the world lost its mind. Movies, books, and conspiracy theorists swore December 21st would bring asteroids, aliens, or planetary collapse. I remember friends half joking about it, but some genuinely packed survival kits. The day came, the world shrugged, and we all went back to holiday shopping. Even recently, we've had Prince Charles and Tiara IX giving us 96 months to save the planet, and in 2021, saying we had 18 months left. Climate summits keep calling every meeting the last chance. Yet the deadlines pass, the predictions fizzle, and we adapt. Building seawalls, improving tech, and proving humans are tougher than the headlines suggest. So, how many times in the last 100 years? Dozens, easily. From comets to computers, Religious rapture to resource collapse? The apocalypse has been a no-show every single time. But here's the real kicker. Why do these predictions keep happening? It's fear-mongering, plain and simple. A tool as old as time, wielded to manipulate, not to enlighten. Think about it. Fear grabs attention. It sells newspapers, fills pews, and pushes agendas. In 1910, panic over Halley's Comet moved product. Bottled air doesn't sell itself. Ehrlich's dire warnings fueled forced sterilizations in India and China, all in the name of averting a crisis that never came. Y2K made millions for consultants fixing a glitch that barely mattered. Fear doesn't solve problems, it creates them, steering us into rash decisions or paralyzing inaction. And it's never productive. Studies show scare tactics might spark initial worry, like after the day after tomorrow boosted climate concern, but without clear solutions, that fades fast. People tune out, deny it, or just wait for the next trigger. The 2011 camping fiasco? His followers didn't save the world. They lost jobs and savings. Fear left them worse off, not wiser. History backs this up. Every failed prediction, from 1910's Comet to 2012's Mayan bust, shows fear doesn't fix anything. It's a distraction, a power grab. Governments, cults, even well-meaning activists use it to control narratives, not to inspire real change. Meanwhile, humanity keeps chugging along, solving problems not with panic, but with grit and ingenuity. So next time you hear the world's ending, whether it's a comet, climate, or cosmic prophecy, take a breath. We've heard it all before, at least a dozen times in the last century alone. The apocalypse isn't coming, but the fearmongers will keep trying. Don't buy it. It's just noise, not truth.